All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome into the Reckoning. Today, we're going to be attempting to complete every single one of the side quests here on the Reckoning. Now, I will do my best to make sure there are timestamps below. That way you can use this video as not only a fun video that we do, but also a guide on how to complete all of these side quests. Now, right from the get-go, from the spawn room, immediately, we're going to start with the trash can Easter egg. So you're going to find 8 of these trash cans. There's 2 of them in spawn, one right there, and one back here. You're simply going to interact with them. They might give you a reward, they might not give you a reward. There are going to be a total of 4 trash cans that will give you a reward. Once you get all 4 of your rewards, then you're able to get the final trash can, which I'll show you here in just a bit. But all the remaining trash cans are all the way up in the T1 executive suites, which as you open up the map through all of the different indicators here, whichever way you want to go, you just follow the indicators, turn on power, pack a punch. It's simple, but once we get up to the T1 director suites area, I will go ahead and show you the remaining trash can locations. Then once you've made your way over to the T1 executive suites for the first time, immediately to the left here is a trash can. Interact with that. Continue around here to the left by this door is another one. We'll interact there. We're going to come right over here just to the right hand side of Juggernog. Interact there, and nothing in that one. Coming up to the top of the stairs right next to the ammo cache is another one. Go and interact there. So that is 2 total rewards that we've gotten. I'm going to go ahead and place the explosive here. Continue around and we can go ahead and interact there. So there is another reward. Now I have gotten as many as 1,000 points out of this. Now we still have 1 more trash can to collect, which is guaranteed to have a reward because we've only gotten 3 different rewards. So we'll get to that in just a moment. Let me go ahead and clear out these guys. And then coming in through here, making a left past elemental pop, we'll grab the bonus points from that and head right on in here. And in this dark, very dimly lit corner back here is the final trash can. Go and interact there, and there we go, 500 essence from that. So I've gotten as much as 1,000 essence. I have gotten epic tools. I've seen people get legendary tools. I've gotten many perks from these trash cans. This is definitely something that you need to be doing each and every single game that you are playing here on the Reckoning. And then once you have interacted with all of those trash cans, there is going to be a final trash can, which is going to give you 1,500 essence, 500 salvage, potentially a self-revive, and a guaranteed score streak. And once we get back there, we're just going to go right back into the spawn room, and you will see this special glowing trash can that is glowing yellow. We're going to go in and interact with that. And that is going to spit out all of those beautiful rewards. Like I said, 1,500 essence. I do believe it's 500 pieces of salvage, which is great. Maybe it's 300. Honestly, I didn't pay attention. Maybe Editing Whip can go back and tell you just how much we got. Look at that. We also got a monkey bomb. We got a death machine from that as well. And then while we're here in spawn, once we have come back in, this is a great time to go ahead and do our sharpshooter Easter egg for the first time. That's right, like for the very first time, because you can do this 3 times. So you're going to stand in the center of this Project Janus logo, and you're going to aim. Oh, go ahead and hit that. You're going to aim right at the center of this Project Janus logo. And as long as you are centered on both, this will activate. Now, this could be pretty finicky. If it doesn't work, just barely move your feet around. Just try to get yourself centered inside of this Project Janus logo and make sure you're shooting the center of here. Eventually, you will get it to activate. But the very first time you do this, you can see this. I just walked you through the entire thing. It's going to be nothing but single targets. And this is going to grant you with an ammo mod every single time, the very first time you do this. Now, this can be repeated up to 2 more times. Now, I'm going to do those a little bit later in game, and I'll go ahead and explain why, because the rewards that you get are a little bit different. So the second time that you do it, there's going to be 2 targets, and you're going to have to do that in the same 9 seconds. You're going to the same 9 seconds, but you have 2 targets to do each time, and that is going to grant you an Aether tool. If you do that before on round 10 or lower, you are going to get yourself a blue Aether tool. If you do it on rounds 11 through round 20, you're going to get a purple Aether tool, and if you do it on round 21 plus, you are going to get a legendary Aether tool. And I think that that is what I'm going to do in this particular game, is wait until round 21. The third time you do it, you can get yourself a double pack-a-punch crystal. That needs to be on round 16 or higher. If you do it for the 3rd time on anywhere between rounds 1 through 15, you'll get a single pack-a-punch crystal, and anywhere from round 16 upwards. I've done this as high as round 36 the 3rd time through, and I've never gotten a flawless out of this. So I'm going to make the assumption that a double Pack-a-Punch crystal is the most that you can get, because even if you did get a flawless on round 40 or above, and honestly at that point it's probably not worth doing anymore. And also something that is really cool to note, if you are playing co-op, this Easter egg is player specific. So everybody, every game can do it when you are playing co-op, which I think is just absolutely amazing. All right, now next I want to go ahead and do the main music Easter egg here for the map. So if we head on up into the mutant research facility, and just over here right next to where this disciple is inside of this cage, you're going to see a zombie on the ground with a pair of headphones. Go ahead and interact with that. You'll hear the little Mr. Peaks noise. Now we need to find 2 more headphones. The next one is going to be located in the dark entity containment area. So once you go ahead and make your way to the dark entity containment area, you're going to go ahead and come on down this staircase down to this lower level here. And right over here, you'll see another dead zombie with another Mr. Peaks headphones. Go ahead and interact with him. And the final one is going to be in the T1 executive suites. So once you make your way into the T1 executive suite area, we're going to go ahead and head on up the stairs. We're going to come into the director's office, make a right hand turn, and right inside of this cabinet right here is the final headphone. So go ahead and interact with that, and that is going to cue in the main music Easter egg for this map, which honestly, if I do say so myself, it is absolutely amazing. And while we're up here in the T1 executive suites, this is a great time to go in and queue in a free self-revive. So if you are in this director's office where the portal is here, these pool balls right over here, if we shoot 1, 1, 5, as long as you shoot on 3 different levels, like you don't want to shoot 2 ones on one level, they got to be on 3 different rows there. But if you shoot 1, 1, 5, that is going to spawn in a free self-revive that is going to sit here on this pool table. And the awesome thing about this is you could do this at the beginning of the game. You could do it when you come in right as you're passing this the very first time and have this spawn in. This will not despawn unless you save and quit your game, or you come back in and do some sort of fashion. That is not going to despawn. That is going to stay there. So if you're playing solo, go ahead, pop that in there and do that. That way, if you ever get yourself in a really bad situation and you lose your self-revive, you know, you can immediately just run up here, run past it, and be able to grab it without having to worry about stopping in this very tiny room. Maybe you got an entire horde of zombies on you and you just want to grab that self-revive. So definitely just do that off the rip, get that spawned in. And then what you may not know is there is also a second music Easter egg. So I'm going to go ahead and head on back down toward the spawn area, and we're going to do the second music Easter egg. Man, I cannot talk today. We're going to do the second music Easter egg. So I like flying down through the floors here. It's really cool when you got stamina up and you don't have to worry about pulling the parachutes all of the time. But if we go ahead and come on into the spawn room here and we take a look at the metal detectors looking from this way, you have number 1 here, number 2 here, number 3 here. Now we got to run through these in a very particular order 4 different times. And it's going to be 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. So 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, finally 1, 3, 2. The screen's gonna go white, and that's gonna cue in the second music Easter egg of this map. Now it does not matter which way you run through those metal detectors. You can start whichever way. Just run through that same pattern: 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, and yeah, just 4 times through, and you got it. Screen will go white. You might mess up everybody if you're playing in like some co-op or whatever, and they think something happened because everything went white. It's kind of cool. But I think this song is called Samantha's Wish. I think. Please don't quote me on that. But yeah, another awesome music Easter egg. Now this next one I'm going to show you is a jump scare Easter egg. Now you are going to need a sniper rifle with a scope. There is an SVD that is right up here on the wall. Wow, 3,000 points. I'm actually going to use this for 2 different Easter eggs. So I'm just going to grab this just for now. You might want to grab this a little bit earlier before it costs 3,000 points in blue rarity. But from the T1 executive suite, you come over here near the portal. If you look out here over the hillside and aim right at this picnic table here, you are going to get a Samuel jump scare. And even when you are ready for it, yes, indeed. Yeah, it can be quite terrifying. Now, this next one is a free Deadshot perk. Now, you absolutely do not need a sniper rifle for this. However, the Maelstrom shotgun that I have with me is not a good weapon for this particular side quest. So I'm going to go ahead and use the sniper rifle that I already have. So to obtain some free Deadshot, we're going to go ahead and head on over to the Mutant Research Lab. And if you come all the way in here, near where the family is here for Richtofen, and come out to this corner, it's actually going to spawn in right up here on these pylons. And you can see them, like I said, they are pretty close. But in order to activate this, we need to just kind of stand back here, and we need to shoot this dummy here. And then we also need to shoot this dummy here in the head. That'll cue the music Easter egg sound. And then you can, just like on Liberty Falls, you can kind of queue yourself in here and shoot these cans here very quickly and be very accurate, and you'll get yourself a free Deadshot. Like I said, you don't need a sniper rifle for this, but the Maelstrom shotgun just simply isn't going to do it. You're not going to get it done. So at least that 3,000 points, I guess, got us a little bit of a jump scare, and it got us a free Deadshot. So, you know, I'll take it. And then generally, I recommend that you have the 3 base perks that you want inside of the game, the 3 perks that you would want if you were to go down before you go ahead and start this Mr. Peak. So if we come on in the T1 Executive Suites, we're going to aim right down here. You'll see a Mr. Peaks. Go ahead and shoot him. Again, don't need a sniper rifle for this. You can hit him with a Molotov. You could hit him with a, you know, a grenade, something, just anything. Just aim right down there until you see the Mr. Peaks. You're going to shoot him. He's going to float up here to the top of the map. And he's going to sit here and he's going to look all cute, cuddly, and dancing here for you. But we can simply go ahead and interact with him. And he's going to go ahead and drop down. He's going to start spawning in these rings. So jump over the edge, pull your parachute right away, and you just want to parachute through these rings. Now, something is important to note here. If you do happen to miss one of these rings, if you miss one on the way down, it's actually okay. You do not even need to turn another round in order to go back to the top to finish them. The first time you go through it, you will get the 100 points every time. Even if you missed it, you'll still have to go through all of the rings, but if you got through one of those rings the first time, you're just simply not going to get the points the second time through. And then the last thing I will note here, when you are dropping in, make sure you do not land up on top of this. No, I'm going to miss it. Oh my gosh. Don't land on top of that little shelf right there. Wherever you land is where your free perk is going to spawn in. You can go ahead and grab that, and we got some free speed cola. Very nice. Now, the next 3 Easter eggs that I'm going to show you here are all tied together. So there is going to be 3 paintings located around the map that you need to gather and take to the director's office. The first one here is in Tier 2 Android Assembly near the portal that takes you to the Mutiny Research Lab. Right behind this little thing, crash down, grab that painting, and pick that up. Now, you can only pick up one of these paintings at a time. And then once you pick that painting up, we need to deliver it to the Executive Suites. So we're going to go ahead into the director's office. We're going to make this left-hand turn right past Elemental Pop. And inside of this room where the portal that goes to spawn, you're going to see 3 spots on the wall where paintings can go. Now, each painting has its own specific place to go on the wall. So you can simply just go up to the wall and interact with it if you're not completely sure which painting goes where. Let me get rid of a couple of these zombies first. But I believe this painting goes right there. And once you interact with it, you are going to get a free 500 points. Now, the second painting, if we take this portal right here back to spawn, we can go on right on in here where the portal is, right off of where you spawn to go to the Pack-a-Punch room. Behind this door is painting number 2, so we can go ahead and pick up that painting and go on back through the portal again, and this will take us back to the Executive Suites, where we can go ahead and place that painting on the wall, which is not there, so it's right here. So there we go. That's 500 points. Now we have one more painting to grab, and that painting is going to be located inside of the Pack-a-Punch room, so we can go ahead and go into that portal. And if you came in the portal from the Executive Suite, you're going to make an immediate left past the Mr. Peak Gobblegum here, and you'll find it right back here in this very dark corner. Go ahead and crouch down, interact with that. And we'll go right back through this portal again, and we'll go place that painting. Now, this is an Easter egg in and of itself that you can do every single game. You can get 1,500 points. There's a lot of videos out there and be like, oh, you get a free 3,000 points. Well, you know what? Good luck having 3 separate double points, because you're not doing this in 30 seconds. You're not doing this in 60 seconds, because you can only do one of these at a time. So you'd have to do them each during a double points. Whatever. Yeah, sure. Can you get 3,000? Yeah, but it's more realistically 1,500. If you're lucky, maybe one time you get a double points, you get 2,000. But yeah, ignore that. It's not a free 3,000 points. That's a load of malarkey. Now, this also ties in. This is part of the Easter egg in order to get the Aether Blade. Now, once you've placed those 3 paintings, you can use the Mr. Peak's field upgrade right here against this painting, and he's going to rip that painting off the wall and reveal a safe. Now, you need to get a safe key. And in order to do that, you need an RCXD car, which I already have in my inventory. And with that RCXD car, we're going to come back over to the Dark Entity Containment area. We're going to head on down underneath. We're going to stand right around over here. We're going to go ahead and launch our field upgrade, our RC car. And our goal is to drive it through this hole and all the way around to the back of this. I'm not very good at driving this thing. We want to park it right underneath this crystal right there and detonate it. And that's going to put off a Kazimir device. Now that Kazimir is going to float to the top. It's going to come up this way. So we're going to work our way up the stairs. We're right at the beginning of a round here. So this is kind of annoying. It's going to start spawning in all of these crystals all over this wall here. Now we're going to break these crystals. It's going to give us a bunch of salvage, a little bit of loot. Now, one way that we can kind of cheese all these crystals, you can sit here and shoot them all, or you can go and just throw a Kazimir or 2 against the wall here, and that'll take out some of them anyway. You know, completely up to you. But the very last crystal that you break here is going to drop you a safe key, and we can go ahead and pick up that safe key right there. Now, that brings us to the next part. The next part is going to be killing a disciple, an HVT disciple. So we're going to go ahead and head on back to the executive suites, back to the director's office, to that safe on the wall that we opened up with the Mr. Peaks painting. Now, the paintings in the RCXD car, those are 2 side quests that you can do completely independent of one another, but you combine both of those with the Mr. Peaks here and the safe key that you get from that in order to get the Aether Blade, which we're going to go ahead and do now. I'm going to prep for that by going ahead and spawning in an insta-kill, which is going to help us a ton because I'm going to interact with this. This is going to spawn in a HVT disciple who is quite tanky, and I would highly suggest that you are a little bit prepared for this fight. I do like to have an insta-kill on hand if available. If you have the gobble gum, great. You can also get the free one on the map, but you do it with the insta-kill and it's really easy. But without the right weapon, without being loaded up, that can be quite tanky. But once you defeat him, you are going to have the Aether Blade. So there you go. We now have our Aether Blade in hand. And isn't this thing lovely? I love having this in this game. Now, this is also a great time to start working on some trap upgrades. So if you didn't know, the traps along the map here, these caster traps, they can be upgraded up to 3 times. Now, the very first time you upgrade it, you need to activate the trap 5 times. It does not matter how many kills that you get. Now, there are 2 traps up here in the Dark Entity Containment area, and you got to be careful because before you upgrade these things can damage you. So you need to stay out of this trap because it can damage you. There are also 2 more of these caster turrets down inside of the quantum computing core down here. There are 2 more doors and 2 more caster traps. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade these. Now, these do cost you money in order to upgrade, but that is now 4 traps that I have upgraded. So I need to use 1 more trap. You need to use 5 traps in total in order to upgrade for the first time. Again, it doesn't matter how many kills that you get. So you can either wait for the ones that you're using to cool down, or you can just kind of bounce back and forth between the 2 and just spending your money. You can have all 4 traps activated at one time if you just bounce back and forth. But by the time we come back here, we now have another one. Oh, nope, it's still on cooldown. Never mind. So we're going to have to wait for the end of the cooldown. And there we go. Trap ready. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade it. Now that is 5 activations. That's going to spawn in this special zombie right here who is well, no, maybe it wasn't him. That wasn't him. So we're going to look for another special zombie. I thought that he was the special zombie. He's not the special zombie, but we should get another one spawning in here any moment. Where are you, special zombie? Hello, special zombie. Where shall you be, special zombie? Okay, there we go. We got the error memory full. I think this is the guy right here. Nope. Okay, so now I'm at the start of the round. Eventually, I would try to keep these guys as contained as you can here, because one of these zombies is going to spawn in and he's going to drop a hard drive. So So once you've done this trap, try to keep your zombies all in one area here. That way you don't miss that hard drive, because you are going to need that in order to upgrade. Sometimes he spawns in super duper quickly, and you can see him before all of the other zombies spawn in for a round, like if it was the end of a round change. Other times, not so much. But he is going to spawn in. He is going to be in the area, and he is easy to find. You just got to keep your eye out to make sure that you don't miss it. So I'm going to check the ground here, some of my dead zombies around here, see if I can find this hard drive. We'll go and kill these guys, and there we go. There's the hard drive, so we go ahead and pick that up. Once you have the hard drive in hand, we're going to go ahead and head back to the quantum computing core, and we are going to need some melee macchiato for this, because we do need to open up the machine that exposes the brain. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase the melee macchiato, and we're going to melee this Project Janus machine right here. We're just going to expose this brain. Now, there is different ways you can do this. So we're going to insert the hard drive into here. You see there's a place for 3 different hard drives, because you can upgrade these turrets 3 different times. And you'll be able to see the 3 different upgrades that you see here. So the very first time that you upgrade it, it's going to make it to where it does not damage you. So you're going to get a slight damage at a slight time increase in the how long the traps last, and it's also not going to damage you any longer. After the second time you upgrade it, it's going to last even longer, and its damage radius is going to be increased. And then finally, the third time you upgrade it is going to get the brain rot option. Now, once we do this, once we place this in, we do have to protect this machine from zombies. Now, right now, I don't have a zombie on me, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. But there is currently a way to cheese this, is simply just leave. If you just leave the area, you can completely cheese this, and no zombies are going to attack it. Now, that might get patched at some point in the future. See, I have my only round zombie that's left alive. He's over here with me. He's nowhere near that machine, so I'm just going to listen out for the voice prompts to let me know when I have completed this step. And there we go. You hear the system online, you'll hear that voice prompt, and then you know that that has been completed, and your caster traps are now updated. So if we head on back to the quantum computing core and we take a look over here at our trap, we now see that we have the caster 2.0 version. Now, like I said, you can upgrade this 2 more times. The second time you upgraded it, you need to activate the trap 10 times. After 10 times, you'll get that special zombie again. You'll pick up the hard drive. You'll put it in the machine over here. You'll protect it from the zombies. Like I said, right now you can just run away. Otherwise, I would not suggest having any zombies alive when you're doing this. Leave a vermin or a parasite alive, because they won't attack the machine, or be prepared to fight it out, but make sure there's only 1 zombie. Sometimes you can kind of body block the zombie from getting there and be able to stop it. Sometimes you can't, but either way, you can do this 2 more additional times, and each time is going to upgrade those traps more and more. The third time that you do it, so after you do, so this is 5 activations, 10 activations for the second one, and 15 more activations. That's 15 activations on top of the 10. So there's 5 activations here, 10 more activations, and then after those 10 more activations, you need 15 more activations of the traps. And again, you have the 4 traps, so you just keep activating. It's going to cost you a lot of money, but they are definitely worth the upgrade, and I would 100% suggest you do it, especially if you were going to higher rounds. I had a live stream that you can definitely check out where I went to round 100, and I did the round 100 Sam boss fight, and my strategy to get to round 100 was basically using the traps. I used the traps for almost the entire duration of my entire run there, from rounds, I would say round 40 all the way through round 101. I was using traps. I was using the traps to get through, and honestly having a lot of fun in doing so. It really did make it a lot of fun, so they're definitely worth the upgrade. And then once you have the melee macchiato, there is a vending machine in this map as well, just like on Liberty Falls. If you want the best rewards, you're going to want to hit this with melee macchiato. That's going to give you all kinds of cool things. I had one, oh, look at that, some free death perception. I will take that. I had one particular game here where I got 3 perks that I didn't even have, 3 perks that I desperately needed, all in one go of that. So definitely worth doing that vending machine. Now, this next side quest that I'm going to show you here is how to get a free Kazimir every single round. Now, it is going to require you to start with a Kazimir, so I'm going to go ahead and buy a Kazimir. And then once you have a Kazimir, we're going to head back over to the executive suite. We're going to come up to the top right over here, and you're going to stand right where I'm standing right here in between these two boxes. We're going to aim toward this, whatever you want to call this, aim right about here with your Kazimir, chuck it, and that's going to go right into the middle of this thing. And you'll see that it will start to glow purple. Now, if you were to bring zombies down into this area, I only have one left at the moment, but if you bring a zombie down here and you go ahead and kill him, you'll notice it fills a soul. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let the round turn here. We'll kill a couple more zombies right here. And every single round, you can fill this soul box, and it will reward you with a free Kazimir every round. Now, as the rounds increase, it's going to take more and more souls in order to fill this, in order to get your free Kazimir. But once you do this the first time, you can take your very first Kazimir, you can go ahead and do this, and you can know that you can always come back to this area and fill this soul box with all of these zombie souls. There we go. We got it already. It was that quick. I already picked it up. It already picked it up and put it into my inventory. But you'll see it's no longer glowing purple. But if I were to go ahead and finish up and turn this round, and then once we turn into round 18, you'll see that it is now glowing purple again. And again, we can fill this with zombie souls. Let's go ahead and take a look at all the free power-ups that can be found around the map. The max ammo can be found here near the mutant assembly portal here in the android assembly area. If you take a look right up here, right about there, you can go ahead and shoot that and you'll find yourself a max ammo. And if we go and take that portal over to the mutant research area and we come on over here near the Deadshot machine, we can look up right up on top here and you'll find yourself a free full power. And over in the back of spawn, if you take a look back here on this tank right back here, it's kind of difficult to see. Let's see if we can see it a little bit better with our sniper. There you go. There is your max armor. Go ahead and shoot that. Get yourself a max armor. Now, the free double points can be found down here in the quantum computing core. And this one, without a doubt, is one of the hardest ones to see. If we come on over by this door right here near the quantum computing, and you look up right inside of this little computer, you will see the free double points right there. So if we go ahead and shoot that, you can see it better with a scoped weapon. Sometimes its hitbox is a little janky too. But again, look, I mean, I'm shooting this. This one can be tough to get sometimes because, I mean, I'm shooting this with my Maelstrom. You can see it there. We can see it easily with the sniper. But the hitbox is quite janky with it, to say the least. There we go. Now we got it. I'll kill this zombie off. I'll let the round spawn. I'm going to take advantage of that double points real quick. Free bonus points can be found here in the T1 executive suites. If we look up toward this pylon here, up through this opening, you'll be able to see that sitting right there on that pylon and shoot that for a free bonus points. And then finally, the free insta-kill power-up can be found right here in the dark entity containment that I always like to use on this step right here. And it's located in this window right up here on this shelf. That'll give you a free insta-kill, and I like to use that right here on this Forsaken step. I find this to be the best use case for that free insta-kill that you could have out there. And yeah, I take that and I do that during this step right here. Works out great every single time. Oh, nope, there it is. I see it. I see it. I thought maybe I accidentally shot it, but there it is. It's located right in the middle of that right there, and kind of hard to see back in there. Sometimes when you're fighting in this area, you accidentally shoot that nuke, but that is where you'll find the free nuke power-up. And then finally, once you have all of the power-ups, you can come on back here to spawn, and over by the quick revive machine inside of this window over here is going to be your free fire sale power-up, and you can go ahead and fire that for a free fire sale. I wanted to give an honorable mention to this step. So during the Gorg effects and the main quest upgrade, you have this boost step. So once we start this boost, there's going to be 5 of these quantum vermin that spawn in here. So we kill those with the Gorg effects, and those are worth 200 points apiece. And I'll show you where the scoreboard is here in just a moment. So we kill all of those guys, and that's going to be worth 1,000 points. Now that's enough to progress this step. Now, if you are able to get this scoreboard up to 2,000 points, then you can actually get another second free perk here in the game. Now, this is nothing that I have been able to ever do solo. You would have to do this at a pretty high round, as these zombies are only worth 10 points apiece. And I mean, I'm here on round 29. I'm giving it my best go. I don't know if this Uber Klaus is worth extra points. Maybe he's worth some bonus points. We'll kind of see how things play out here. We're going to kill as many zombies as fast as we can, see if we can get to 2,000 points. And then I notice we're no longer filling souls up there, so I'm going to say that it's probably done. It is indeed done. Our score was only 1,295. So yeah, but if you do get that to 2,000 points somehow, it would have to be in a co-op, and you'd have to have a lot of zombies. Then you can get a free perk if you get that to 2,000. And it's just a standard free bonus perk. In another honorable mention, just like over on the last map here, you get these little white boxes, and you can shoot those little white boxes for some salvage, or maybe a vermin or a parasite. Now, you can also get a free Aetherella here on this map. Now, that's going to be down here in spawn, and you do have to have the Gorg effects in hand. But this little bathroom stall right over here, you need to open it first and then shoot a charged shot into that. So in order to open it, we need to use a spray on it. So if you come on over here to the door and you open up your spray here, let's go ahead and do this spray. And that's going to crack that door open. We can then take our Gorg effects, fire a charged shot under there, and get this Aetherella statue. Now, basically, she doesn't do anything besides follow you around the map. But if we were to take her into the Pack-a-Punch room, and we go ahead and jump up into the beam here, she's going to go ahead and jump up into the beam, and we're just going to ride this all the way over. And you can see she is now up inside of that beam. So if you put yourself back into the beam a second time, once you have the Aetherella statue up there, and you avoid everything else until you interact with her. And then once you do, she is now going to come down, and you have a little mini Aetherella, kind of like on Liberty Falls, just a much weaker version of Aetherella, but she does last quite a while. Now you can see it is round 32. We activated her on round 29. She is still here, still by our side, still killing zombies. And there we go. She did finally disappear here on round 33. So she lasted 3 complete rounds. Now, I have heard reports out there that if you wait a few rounds, you'll be able to go back to the beam and reactivate that Aetherella. I've never tried it. I've never been able to accomplish that, so I can't confirm whether or not that is true or not. So maybe if you know down in the comments exactly how that works, let me know. I've never really done this Aetherella before. It's kind of weak, but it is kind of gimmicky. It's kind of fun, but it's not something that I'm going to do on a game-by-game basis. And then we're finally, I believe this is the last one. We need to do the chicken bucket. So I'm going to risk losing my Aether blade. Hopefully it stays there long enough for me to do this. But I'm going to craft an explosive, and I'm going to come all the way down here into this little kitchen room right here. And I'm going to use that explosive on that chicken bucket on the wall. That's going to explode and put some chicken wings all over the room there. But first, I'm going to go back and try to get my Aether blade. Aha, still there. Very nice. So once you've exploded that chicken bucket, you are going to be looking for 6 chicken wings located around the room. They're always going to be in this spawn. You can find 2 of them on the counter. You can find 1 of them on this chair. You can find 1 of them on the floor here over by the door, 1 on the floor here below this chair, and 1 on the floor behind the trash can behind the counter. And then once you've collected all those, you can come on over here, collect your chicken bucket, and then if you go into third person view, you will be able to see you are now wearing that chicken bucket on your head. This doesn't do anything. It's just kind of fun. And what's cool is if you have like the wonder weapon in the map, you can shoot your teammate with the wonder weapon and knock the chicken bucket off of their head, and then you can pick up the chicken bucket. I think you can also hit them with an explosive, things like that, and try to steal the chicken bucket head from them. But I definitely had to include this in here because there's one member of this community who might have ostracized me if I did not. You know who you are, and I appreciate you very much. Now, I do want to mention there is a round 100 boss fight that I am not going to do inside of this video. However, I will link to the live stream where I did do that round 100 boss fight. Spoiler alert, I was not successful. But if I missed any side quest or anything whatsoever, please let me know down in the comments. Let me know what is your favorite side quest here on The Reckoning. And let me know, is this your favorite map with side quest or not? Maybe it is for me. I love the side quest here in this map, but I appreciate you all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. My name is Cool Whip, and I'm out.